we have Mark and Jolene Fincher here with us. And thank you for coming and joining us. They have been longtime homeschoolers, and Mark is giving us a presentation about family history and learning how to make those connections with ourselves. But we want to get to know them on a little bit more personal basis and get to know you as homeschoolers and what you guys do. So at first, I want to know, how did you guys meet?
BYU.
Freshman Family Home Evening Group.
Yeah, I love Family Home Evening Groups. My son is in the singles board, and he doesn't have Family Home Evening Groups.
Oh.
I'm like, why did they ban those? That's just the saddest thing ever, because so many people met that way.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so where did you grow up, Jolene?
I grew up in California.
Okay.
And
what brought you to BYU?
Well, there wasn't much. I applied to some of the California schools, but that just wasn't where it worked out. So I worked out coming up here to BYU. So.
Cool. Great. And
I'm also from I'm also from California. I'm from both ends of the state.
Oh, at the same time?
No, not at the same time. I grew up in Southern California in Orange County until I was 9 years old, and then we moved up to the sticks in Shasta County, way up in the north. We literally lived in a pine forest out in the middle of nowhere. Wow. And that's actually where I ended up joining the LDS Church, was in that little town. So I had to leave Orange County with a large Mormon population and
to find its way up there.
to find my way to that. And
that's interesting.
I had a tiny little high school. I had a graduating class of 45.
Wow.
And
that's smaller than mine.
Yeah. And so there wasn't a lot of interaction with other people of my faith. And so I was looking for some way to have a little bit more interaction. And I had a lot of opportunities to go to a bunch of different schools, but I ended up choosing BYU because I wanted more interaction with people of my same faith.
Yeah. I think that's why most of us go to BYU, to get that interaction.
Yeah,
it is, especially at that age, right?
Right.
When there's just not so very many. Yeah. All right, so you met at the Family Home Evening Group.
Yep.
And so I'm going to ask Mark first. Why did you choose Jolene?
Why did I choose Jolene? It was an interesting process. I dated several other girls our freshman year before I started dating her. And I was all about, got to be drop dead gorgeous and a lot of people a lot of people go, oh, that hurts your wife. But what I found was she's gorgeous to me. And part of what makes her gorgeous is who she is from a spiritual level, from an intellectual level. She is a whole person. And I love all of my wife, not just her beautiful looks.
Yeah.
And that was something that was hard for me
I
to...
think he's thought about that.
I have thought a lot about that. And it was hard for me to understand that when I was a freshman. And I recognized I had broken up with another girl who was lots of fun, but there wasn't as much there as I was looking for. And I started going out with her almost immediately thereafter, and I was actually kind of shying away. I'm like, I just broke up with a girl. I don't want to do this. But she was so attractive to me, I couldn't stay away.
Good way to put it.
And then she booted me off on a mission.
Yep.
Oh, so
and said, so long, see you, not...
Yeah.
And she was
and
still
you
available.
For him.
No, she did not.
Oh, you didn't. Okay, tell us the story.
Well, I mean, I was still around, but I wasn't waiting.
Okay.
Like you said, I said, go on your mission, we'll just be friends.
Yeah.
And so throughout his mission, I would write him, not really consistently, but every 3 months I would send him a letter, and because that was before email and all that.
Right.
And so then he would send me one every so often, and we were both figuring, well, he'll come back, but we'll never see each other. BYU's a big place, unless we happen to be in the same ward somehow again.
Yeah.
Didn't happen. But I was in a leadership position with a bunch of youth, the freshmen coming in, and I was showing them around campus, and I happened to see him as I was doing this tour thing with them. I'm like, oh, hi, Mark. And he's like, oh, hi, Jolene. And we're just like, okay, well, whatever, chance meeting, it'll never happen again. But then when I was done with that tour, we saw each other again because we were both going the other direction again. And then we sat and we talked for, I don't know, an hour or two or something.
At least
kind
a couple
of reconnected.
Wow.
And we're both kind of like, hey, you've changed. Hey, you've changed. Maybe this will work. And then,
Interesting.
But it still took a while to work.
It still took a while to work. A lot of miscommunication, and it wasn't even miscommunication on our part.
Yeah, it was roommates not giving messages like we wanted.
Which then caused stories in my head of, oh, she doesn't care about me. She doesn't want anything to do with me. And the Lord always knows how to bring somebody together when it's supposed to happen. And it happened for us. And I love the fact that it wasn't easy, because we made the effort through the hardship of actually trying to keep that connection together.
And that says a lot about your personalities, but it also says a lot about this was meant to be.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, that's wonderful. All right, so tell me, how many children do you have?
5.
5 beautiful children.
And why did you choose to homeschool?
Well, our oldest was reading at 4.5. And because of where her birthday falls in the school year, she wasn't going to be able to go to school for like a whole another year. And we're just like, okay, we were both bored in school. You're going to be older, smarter. When you start going, you're going to be bored stiff. What other options do we have?
Yeah.
And so we were just looking around, and homeschooling was one that we found that we said, hey, let's give it a shot. And it worked. And
She said to me, because I was trying to think of, well, I can't afford private school, which was really my one option that I saw. And she says, well, we could homeschool. And my first reaction was, from my experience in California, only weird people homeschool.
It's true.
It's true. I've been one of the weird people for 17 years now, and I love it.
And you love being weird.
I love being weird.
Yay.
We'll wear that label proudly.
Yeah. So she introduced it to you, and you said, no way.
My reaction was
skeptical at first.
It was skeptical. Yeah. But things, again, happened the way they needed to happen. And we heard about an organization of homeschoolers that were actually looking at kind of recreating what they were doing. She saw a post on
something. I don't even remember back then.
So was
probably
this
CompuServe. It was here in Utah.
Okay.
It's probably on CompuServe. That's how long ago it was.
Oh, wow.
And she says, I saw this thing. Let's just go see what it's about. And I'm like, okay. I was open enough to say, okay, let's at least go see.
Yeah.
It can't hurt to go see.
Okay.
And seeing the people and their excitement, we fell in love with the idea and said, yeah, let's try this out.
Wow. That's awesome.
To subscribe to our YouTube channel, click here. To choose from our gifts and request updates on our most popular topics, visit calledtolearn.com. For more videos like this one, click this playlist. For Table Talk discussions, choose this playlist.